Hi and welcome. We are so glad you're here with us today. My granddaughter Angelette is behind the camera and we are here in what I'm calling my dream garden. My granddaughter was just saying, but your garden is a dream garden, and it is, and I'm very grateful. But this garden is here at one of our local nurseries. This nursery is called Windmill Heights Garden Center. They are a full service garden center. So if you live local to me, I will put all of their information in the description below. They offer a wide variety of trees, fruiting trees, shrubs, flowering shrubs, foundation shrubs, perennials, herbs, annuals, vegetables, you name it, they offer it. They are open year-round. They offer landscaping services. The owner, Paul, has been very kind to let us come and film this beautiful garden. And the staff here is very knowledgeable. If you need help on planting your garden, they will just help you know what to plant. So a lot of the perennials that you're going to see in this garden are native here to our state of Virginia. And we do live in a zone 6B7. This particular garden would be a solid 7. I'm sure of that because it's a little bit farther south than where I live. But a lot of these plants, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that they are hardy probably from zones maybe 4, 5 up to zone 9. I don't know the zone hardiness of each individual plant we will be looking at off the top of my head. But I want to inspire you to plant native plants. When we plant native flowering plants and native perennials, then we are drawing in the local bugs, the local good bugs, to our gardens. And that's really the reason why we want to plant the native plants. So let's get started and we're going to make our way around through these gardens. You can see here a beautiful Amsonia. Let's see which one this is. No, it's not an Amsonia. Angelette zoned in there to the name, that you can look that up for yourself and see if that's something that would work for your garden. And as we move here, you can see a more low-growing, this is an iris. This is an iris cristata, and I've seen blooms on those. Very lovely. You can see where they had some daffodils. Then as we move around, and I love the tags that they have in here. I don't see a tag on this one. It looks, do you see a tag, Angelette? Okay. Oh yeah, it's a type of a Rudbeckia. So it's got a lot of buds on it. It's going to be beautiful. You can see here a native grass. And this is a type of a mint. This is Downy wood mint, it says. But I could imagine that the pollinators would go crazy over this. Here's another, what appears to be a native plant. I'm going to let her zoom in. Some of these I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. Golden Alexanders. A lot of these I've not seen myself. This is very cool. This type of iris. You can see where it's already bloomed. Purple flame, but very cool foliage, and you can see where that is already bloomed. So we're going to make our way up through this garden, but we want to stop here at this Monarda and just enjoy it for a few minutes. Look at the size of it. Look at how large this Monarda is. Let's see if we can find out specifically which one this is, if I could find a tag. This really inspires me to want to tag all of my perennials and make some really nice tags. I'm just like in shock at the size of this Monarda. It's just gorgeous. I don't see which one specifically it is. Then if we walk around this way, we can see some more Rudbeckia here. Rudbeckia is probably one of my favorites in the garden. That's a bad bug. Let's see if we can, yeah, go away. Here's some more grass. Here's Boneset. I have late Boneset that grows native on our farm, and I'm going to say this is probably gets a white bloom. I'm going to take a guess at that because the Boneset that I'm familiar with has a white bloom on it. So it's got a lot of buds. Another bug that we don't want on there. Okay. Very nice. I don't want to say woodland, but it's got a lot of things just scattered throughout. A few things are tagged. Here's another Boneset. And they're calling it a common Boneset. I always called it late Boneset, so I'm not sure which one. Looks like some maybe berry bushes, wouldn't you say, Angelette? These look like raspberry bushes, maybe some type of berry. And then this holly. One of the things that really stood out to me in this garden was this holly has shed some of the leaves over time, and I don't know whether they've added the holly leaves as mulch, but isn't that a beautiful mulch, all of these holly leaves? This thing is massive though. Look at that. Wow. Here's some goldenrod, quite a bit of goldenrod here. And I could imagine when this is in bloom, wow. Here's some phlox. These are the tall phlox. This is one of my favorites. I have this in my perennial garden. The redhead. It has a couple different names. Indian pink, I think. I love this perennial so much. And then they have some ferns. When you get here into the more shade, you can see quite a few nice ferns. But if you could, there's several of these holly. I think there's 3 of these holly trees in here. Oh, to have those. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So this is, I believe, another goldenrod. This back here, I don't want to walk in here too much because they've had some bulbs and things, but you can see that gingerwine 9 bark there. And then if we swing over here, you can see an ilex, which is a winter berry. Let's see if we see any berries forming on it yet. Oh yeah, look at the little blooms. So they will have berries. Very nice, very lovely. So we've stopped off here at some mountain mint. This is a beautiful stand of mountain mint right here. I have mountain mint in my garden. It's called Virginia mountain mint, but you can grow it in other states. Mountain mint is a great filler for your bouquets. If you hydrate it very well, it will make a great filler. Also, as you can see, the pollinators just starting. Sometimes during midsummer, the pollinators will be just covered in my mountain mint. So it's a really good perennial to draw in those good bugs. And here we are at another type of goldenrod. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to come back when all of these are in bloom. This one, I have 2 types of goldenrod in my perennial garden. This one looks to be like it might be kept a little smaller, a little bit more tidy. Let her zoom in on the tag. Gray goldenrod. As we move up here, you can see this beautiful Echinacea here. This is one of those, I believe, that gets pretty tall, and they've had alliums all throughout in here, you can see. But this Echinacea is one of the ones that is absolutely loved by the birds. So in order to draw in the birds in your garden, which the birds will eat the bugs that you don't want, then plant a lot of Echinacea because you'll get the birds to come in and eat the bugs. So as Angelette and I were perusing through this garden before we started making the video, I thought this was a skull cap, Hoary Skull Cap, because it looks just like the skull cap that I have, Eupatorium, and round leaf Thoroughwort. So my Hoary Skull Cap gets a bloom on it. So I'm wondering if this bloom is blue. I would be interested to see that. Here's a red twig dogwood. I just coppice pruned my red twig dogwood. We did it together in a video earlier this year, and it's come back beautifully. I need to show you guys. So this is a cute little plant. Is this the same one with the big bloom? No. Anyway, I would be interested also, but this has a lot of buds on it. And let me let Angelette zoom in here on the tag. I would really be interested to see what the blooms look like. Here's another Echinacea, Coneflower. Here's a sweet spire back here. You can see that she's pointing out with the camera right now. I have some sweet spires that get some beautiful blooms on them. That one appears to be a native according to the tag. So I'm not sure that mine are native. Mine are more of a cultivated variety. This is common milkweed here, and it's got some blooms on it, of course, beloved by the monarch butterflies. This is swamp mallow or a hardy hibiscus. You can see, Angelette, if you want to come in a little closer, you can see all of the buds coming on. This is going to be beautiful. I do want to show you this wretched little bug that is the nymph of, sorry, the neighbor's dogs are not happy that we're over here. You see these wretched little bugs? This is the nymph of the spotted lanternfly, and they're almost impossible to squish because they hop. So here in our part of the United States, we have the spotted lanternfly that has come in. They're extremely invasive. They just eat the life out of a tree or a shrub, and they're awful. They're really hard to control. I control them with Dawn dish soap. So I think we're going to move away from these little doggies because we're upsetting them. If we come around here, this is an obedient plant. And I'm hoping it definitely does in fact stay obedient, because sometimes they can be invasive, but this one looks like it might be one of the cultivars that's not. Here's some Cheyenne Sky panicum grass. I think you all can make it in the comments and let me know, but I think this gets red in the fall, I believe. I'm not 100% positive. But if we just pan around here, you can see some more hardy hibiscus. This appears to be one of the proven winners varieties, maybe, I'm not sure. But more Monarda back here. Look at this, full of blooms. And it was really hard to hit the right time when everything was in full bloom. That never happens really in a perennial garden when everything is in full bloom at one time. I wanted to sort of whet your appetite and give you a feel of what a beautiful native pollinator perennial garden looks like. And just the walking through it is just like so pleasing to me. Here's the Baptisia, really good shape. Baptisia does, the foliage works great. It's already bloomed here, but the foliage works great in arrangements too if you do bouquets. And I didn't see this before, but here's a lot of, I want to get to the tag so I can make sure I am seeing what this is. I think Angelette will walk around this way. So as we're walking around to this other side, this is called narrow leaf mountain mint. Again, another pollinator attractor. Really, and these mountain mints aren't something that's going to completely take over your garden like the culinary mints. These you can keep quite a bit more tamed than your culinary mints. So this is what I wanted to get to, because look at the stand of this, and I'm saying it's a type of a goldenrod, but let me see if I can find a tag, because nope, wait a minute. No, that's not it. Anyway, I'll throw the tag up on the screen. I'll go ask one of the staff here, because this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And Angelette, can you see the yarrow in here? This appears to be a native yarrow. Look at that. So pretty. I love how that's intermingled with this. But I'm taking a guess that this is a type of a goldenrod, but we will put it on the screen. Here's another Echinacea hiding in here. I love this style of just having things intermingled. So look at this stand of mountain mint here. This is the Virginia mountain mint. Oh man, that's going to be completely covered with pollinators as the summer progresses. And back in here hiding is some Coreopsis, if you can get in there. Here's some more of this, which may be a little different. Boy, this shows you with seeing all these different perennials that how much I don't know about them. This one is massive as well. Look at that. So we'll do a little bit of research with the staff and see if we can find a tag and throw the names of these up on the screen. But boy, to see this in bloom is going to be a sight to behold. Then as we move around here, we have some more of the Thoroughwort. And then, Angela, if you just want to pan, you can see, we'll walk down here just a little bit. We don't want to disturb any customers. But you can see the greenhouses. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 8. Plus, as I said, they're open year-round. So one greenhouse there has houseplants. And when it's cold and in February and you're wanting to see some green and you live around here, just come here to Windmill Heights because it's fun to go in that greenhouse. So these are all their perennials in here. Oh, look over here. Come here for a second, Angelette. I think I may have to buy another one of these. Look at this. Ah, this is a native plant here to my state. All of these, this entire table here is natives. Look at this stand of hyssop here. Look at that. I mean, to have that planted in mass, we're going to move away so that we don't disturb the customers, but you can just see everything that's going on in there. Oh, they have so much to offer. Look at these lilies. Look at these daylilies. Look at the size of that bloom. Oh my word. Look at this one. I think I have this one in my garden. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we're headed back. Oh, I didn't even see the sign. We should have started here. Nice. So here is the Hoary Skull Cap that I was telling you about. So that other one is not skull cap. It's not the same. This is what I have. I have 2 of these in my garden, and they get covered in these kind of, well, I call them blue, but they're purple blooms. So this is the Hoary Skull Cap that I was talking about. More swamp milkweed and another one of those nasty little bugs. And if you look behind us here, you can see this Kusa dogwood sort of just framing this garden here. I love it. And this is Perennial ageratum. I have one of those in my garden. I have to check and make sure. They're calling it blue mist flower, but it's Perennial ageratum as well. And this one, I told Angelette I wasn't even going to hazard a guess of how to pronounce that. She said, well, just call it burgundy mist. And I'm like, yeah, that'll work too. That's really pretty and really sweet. So as we get ready to wrap this up, Angelette wanted to get a close-up of the succulents here in the love sign. I like how this is just like a PVC type of a pipe with holes in it. Some sort of plastic, maybe plumbing pipe, spray painted with holes in it, and then they made a frame. And then they do have water emitters here. You can see they have drip irrigation for the succulents. Very nice. So we wanted to wrap this video up here with one more view of this Monarda and just show you again its beauty. As I said, I really hope that this has sort of enticed you to want to plant some perennials and some natives in your garden. I hope you have a place near you that you can just go and walk through some beautiful perennial and native gardens. So it's just so enjoyable to me. It's one of the things that I say, when I come here to shop, it's one of the things that I say I'm going to take a few minutes and just stroll through this garden. It's so enjoyable. So thank you for joining Angelette and I, and until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye.